Welcome back to another Plasticon review. Today we're going to cover some Star Wars. Yes, I said Star Wars, not Transformers. Ooh, scary. Being a kid growing up in the 90s, one of the things we were promised was a movie for good old Shadows of the Empire. It never happened. We did get a video game, we got some comic books, and obviously some toys. But we never got the actual movie. Me being such a nerd and a geek, I wanted to kind of showcase some stuff here to show you guys what I consider a huge part of my childhood and a big thing that I actually wanted to show you guys. I have Kenobi here just for a size comparison type of thing. But as you can tell, this is my custom of Dash Rendar that I made pretty recent. I wouldn't say really recent, I would say it had been some time. I gave him a little too much of a shadow, like if I would call it shadow kind of beard thing going on, because he does have one. And if you guys don't know who Dash Rendar is, he's actually in the game Shadows of the Empire. He's also a smuggler, much like Han Solo. But he is a little more aggressive, I would say. He was kind of a hothead. He has a little bit of kind of reddish blonde, reddish brown hair going on there. I tried to do the best I could there. This is actually a knockoff chapmate that I actually decided to paint, and I think it turned out pretty good. It does have arm articulation, elbow articulation, and he does have knees. So he does have posability, a lot more posability than the original Power of the Force figures did. This is actually tail end Power of the Force because you know the Shadows of the Empire. But oh yeah, this guy does have a waist. Does he? No, I guess he does not have a waist. I thought he did, but oh well. Head does move as well. But he's pretty cool. I wanted to show you guys this guy because you know I made this before I ended up getting this figure finally. This figure kind of slipped through my hands when I was a kid, and I never got a chance to get one. So, I wanted to grab one, and I did. I actually got one at Planet Comic-Con with the shop back in time, Comics and Toys. Shameless plug there because, you know, they're an amazing shop. Go check them out. They're located in Liberty, Missouri. So, yeah. Anyway, that is where I got this. He hooked me up with this guy. I really wanted to get him. As you can tell, it's got a very holographic holofoil sticker there. This was actually something they did on almost every single solitary version of these style of figures. They all kind of had a variant that had one of these kind of stickers. I know somebody out there is going to correct me on that, but you know, I'm talking about just Shadows of the Empire right now. It's got kind of like this purple lightsaber thing going on in the background. Really neat. I do love the logo there, as well as the Star Wars logo, obviously, and you know, Darth Vader there. It did have a price sticker here at one time that somebody had took off. I've been trying to get the rest of this gunk off this bubble because I want to get the stuff off the bubble. I have slightly opened it up a little bit so I can take the figure out and put it back in, because I'm not a knit and box kind of guy, but I do have a lot of nostalgia for this card and this style of thing. Because during the 90s, I didn't really buy a lot of Star Wars, but there were some really cool stuff. Now here on the back, it's got a bio. and the bio is quite lengthy. I know it's kind of hard to read, but overall, he's a smuggler, much like Han Solo. His vehicle he flies is called Outrider. It looks kind of like the Millennium Falcon. It's funny because his ship is not actually on the back of the card, which I always thought that was kind of funny. It's got a lot of cross-sell stuff, and this is something I really wish they would bring back on toys. There's no reason for them to not put photographs of some of the toys that are in the toy line on the back of any of the cards, boxes, any of that stuff. I know we had to have multiple languages, but you can still make room for this kind of thing. I don't understand why they omit that. But anyway, they did a very decent enough job. You do have a really good picture here of some of the other figures in the line. You got Prince Exor, you got Luke Skywalker in Imperial Guard disguise, which is cool. You got Dash Rendar, and then you got Chewbacca himself. And then over here in the 2-packs for the Shadows of the Empire, it came with Boba Fett, IG-88, Darth Vader versus Prince Exor. I thought it was weird that we got 2 of that figure. Although he does come with different weapons. And it does look like there may be some slight differences with the outfits themselves and some of the sculpting, but that's about it. And then it's got the X-Wing here, along with the Millennium Falcon, which I think this is weird because these technically all got released in Shadows of the Empire boxes. I don't think this ever did. This should have been the Outrider, which is strange. But I do know that they did Boba Fett's Slave 1 ship. I am not going to call it Boba Fett's ship or spaceship or starship or whatever Disney wants to call it. Because this is pre-Disney. Look, Kenner, 1996 Kenner. But got this nice little fan club thing going on here, and then you got this thing called a Swoop with a Swoop Trooper. So this guy actually came with the vehicle, which is kind of cool. It's a kind of a high-performance speeder bike, more for racing and villainy than the standard speeder bikes that they had. And that's actually part of the video game as well. If you guys have never played the video game, I highly suggest you check it out.
Nintendo 64 is here. Get into it.
It says right here, from the Star Wars multimedia adventure Shadows of the Empire. So they literally were saying, well, this is from the multimedia thing, you know, it's from the video game, which it is. But it's also from the comic books as well. Alright, so we'll go ahead and pop this thing out of its package, so that way we can check out Dash Rendar. I'll talk about this little dude here in a few minutes. But let's pop him out of here because I'm getting out of his little plastic case. So like I said, I literally just popped the bubbles, that way we can check it out. And I haven't took any of this off here yet, so look at that, I'm pulling fresh tape that is from 1996. I'm sure this gun is probably pretty sticky now since then. Oh yeah, it's got some goo on it. That's okay. I'll clean these off here in a little bit. Ugh, man, that sticky tape. Anyway. And then his other rifle. That seemed to be dried out. That's fine. His other rifle's got like this crazy like backpack thing, so we'll check this out here in a minute. This really reminds me of Aliens, which is kind of cool. I do like that. You don't necessarily have to use it, but hey, it's there. Now, let's kind of pop him off the little tray here, and I'll set the tray here at the back. We're going to check out Dash Rendar. For the very first time, I am holding this figure in my hand, and this is kind of crazy. I think it's awesome. I love this. It's so cool. Doesn't really stand up very well, but I mean, the Power of the Force figures really had problems trying to stand. And they did put little holes in the bottom so that way you can use a figure stand, which I happen to have some figure stands too, so. But I might end up putting him on a figure stand pretty soon. There we go. Got him standing up just fine. But he's pretty neat. I do like him. Kind of comparing him to Obi-Wan here. He's got about the same height, which is cool because these actually do fit in the vintage vehicles. The only thing that's kind of weird here is how he's got his one arm out a little far. You compare it to my custom. My custom is tall compared to him. Oops. Yeah, he's a lot taller. It's kind of funny. He's almost like a couple centimeters taller, which is hilarious. But I do think that's cool. Now, let's see. Let's go ahead and put his sticky gun I got in his hand. I wonder if it'll even fit in his hand. There we go. Yep, this is his hand just fine. Very stiff joints, especially as old as this is. I mean, this has never been pulled out of its case. So he does have a waist swivel, which is kind of cool. That's something that the original Star Wars figures did not have. And his head does move. It's very stiff. Good God, that's stiff. Anyway, take a really good close look at his head sculpt there. He's got a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow going on there. It's very orange and very faint, which is nice. Very well detailed gun. I can tell it's got some of that stickiness on there. I'll have to end up taking that off there. It's just sticker residue, guys, so it's not a big deal. Then you got his crazy gun here, and this actually will mount on his back. He actually has a hole on his back for it, which is kind of cool. The original Star Wars figures do not have a hole on their back, if you notice. So let's see here. Let's pop this on his back real quick. And let's lean this thing over his shoulder. This is a very rubbery type of material, which is kind of cool. So it's not. It's kind of like a rubbery type of plastic. It's not anything crazy. And put this gun here in his hand. There we go. We have Dash Rendar with his crazy rifle. They call it a heavy weapons pack. I don't know exactly what you want to call this. I know in the video game he does use a different kind of gun as well. He doesn't just use a pistol. But yeah, this is very video gamey, and I don't mind that. It's kind of cool. I actually don't mind that at all. But I'm trying to get him to stand up with this backpack. It's kind of difficult to do. Part of the problem is, with the Power of the Force figures, the legs were put in a certain angle. I really kind of wished back then they would have didn't do that much, but I know they were competing with Power Rangers. Everything was competing with Power Rangers, so there we go. Now I'm just standing up just fine. Cool. I'll bring in this other little weirdo here I made. This guy is actually a he is a Microman that I decided to create into Lebo. Lebo would be his sidekick. His sidekick was a android. And the android had, he kind of almost looked like a junk bot in a lot of ways because he just had like weird gold pieces. He didn't look like a normal robot at all. He looked like he was just cobbled together. And I always liked Lebo because he was just kind of a bit of a smart aleck toward Dash in a lot of the video game. And didn't mind that. It was really neat. And I think he actually works pretty well. And, the fact that these all kind of work together is not terrible. Yeah, I'm I think this is awesome. Now the funny thing is when I was at the convention at Planet Comic Con, I could have gotten his ship for like $5. Somebody had the ship sitting there, and I was like, wow, only $5? But I was like, no, I don't necessarily need that. I don't have room for it, honestly, because I have the Millennium Falcon. That thing already takes up a lot of space in my collection room, and I don't really have room for it, so. But having Dash Rendar is awesome. I am always been a fan of him. He is always been that hot-headed guy. And I don't know, his outfit always kind of reminded me of Flash Gordon in a way. I don't know, it's just, I just loved how his outfit was designed. It had this padding to it. It was interesting, and that's one big reason why I think I've always liked Dash Rendar. I like the fact that this thing is almost like an Aliens type of gun. Let this will fit on the back of Lebo. I probably can make that fit on Lebo just fine, which would be kind of funny. And that's fine if Lebo uses it. Why not? And give it to Lebo. That'd be pretty great for Lebo, actually. This being a Microman, he'll have a lot more articulation, so he'll be able to probably hold this a lot better. Oh yeah. Yeah, it works pretty good on Lebo. Oh, yeah, that's great. There you go. Now Lebo wield the unwieldy backpack. And I'll put this gun here back in Dash's hands. And I'm dropping the pistol. Okay. Yeah, let's put this gun here back in Dash's hand. Here we go. Yeah, I think this is amazing. This works so well for my shelves, because I don't have a whole lot of room on my shelves, and this is just absolutely perfect. I did want to keep the card and the card back and all that stuff, and I was like, yeah, you know, if I make it so that way I can maybe take the figure out and be able to put it back in anytime I feel like it'd be kind of nice. So I was always a fan of Shadows of the Empire. I just was. I'm just going to hang on to them because I can't pose right now. That's okay. I have figure stands, so I'll just use a figure stand to hold them. Oh, there we go. Cool. Got it. But yeah, Shadows of the Empire. Dash Rendar. Very underrated. Very, very almost forgotten thing from the 90s. I absolutely love this. This works so well. This actually works better than what I thought it would. This makes me very happy to see this. But I wanted to show you guys this cool stuff because this is stuff that I grew up with and I really enjoy it. And I do know some people grew up like the original Star Wars. I did too. I had some original Star Wars when I was a kid because, you know, I was byproduct of Return of the Jedi and got to see reruns of Empire and Star Wars on TV before Return of the Jedi came out in theaters the very first time. So it was awesome to be able to, you know, have something like this. I'm a big fan of this. I beat the video game. I love the video game. It's such a good game. If you guys have never played Shadows of the Empire, I highly suggest you get it. They do have it for computer, and they also have it for N64. So, yeah. I know this has been kind of a long-winded one, but hey, I wanted to show you guys and open it and experience it together. But anyway, this has been Plasticon. This is me signing off. Peace out, you guys. I'll see you around. That's it for now. Bye!